Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. And today's video, I am reacting to your Left 4 Dead 2 hot takes. This is a series where I give you guys a platform to voice your opinions about the Left 4 Dead universe, and you guys can end up participating in this series if you want to in the next episode by leaving a comment down below or within my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. If you guys want to keep seeing more of this series, I'm more than happy to make it, so just let me know by dropping a like and leaving a hot take down below. Crash Course is actually a good campaign. It's open and has many things to explore. They also have more unique dialogue sets and conversations for the original survivors. My most favorite dialogue is when Francis is making fun of Zoe because she shot the infected pilot, Lewis roasting Francis, Francis hates everything more, etc. Most people don't like it because it's a survivor-sided and the infected team mostly losing in versus mode. And because I only play co-op, I don't care about it. The only problem about it is that it's too short and should have been made into 3 chapters. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, my G. I think that Crash Course is literally the worst map in all Left 4 Dead, regardless of what game mode it is. So let's talk about some of the things you mentioned. It's got more stuff to explore. More of what exactly? Like, what are you referring to? Because for me, whenever I play Crash Course, I'm not finding really anything. The only thing I truly find in Crash Course is clutter. Lots of clutter. I find random things scattered around the map, and it makes it feel like it was just a copy and paste of assets just being sprinkled all over the place. There's no really interesting stuff to find within this map. Voice line stuff I sort of understand, you know, if there's exclusive voice lines on this particular map, maybe. But for me, I'm not necessarily thinking about the voice lines when I'm playing the map. I think of those as separate things. Now, the 3-chapter thing I will agree with you on. I do believe that this map should have been at least 3 chapters, but they should have just split chapter 1. They shouldn't add a 3rd chapter because it will make the campaign feel way too long. This campaign feels both long and short at the exact same time, because what it is that chapter 1 feels like 2 chapters. Playing Crash Course on the higher difficulties is a pain in the ass sometimes, because you could be right at the very end and about to get into the safe room, and if you die, you're gonna mutter something under your breath along the lines of being like, ugh, I have to do this all over again, because the chapter is so unnecessarily long for no reason. I think Swamp Fever has one of the best atmospheres from start to finish in-game, and honestly the only campaign where they crash in the literal middle of nowhere besides Crash Course, but I think Swamp Fever is a lot more realistic. Swamp Fever does have a unique atmosphere. In fact, the atmosphere is one of its best strengths because it's one of the only few Left 4 Dead 2 maps I would say that actually feels scary. Swamp Fever is the worst campaign Valve has made. The finale is cool, but the levels are not fun and drag out for too long. A swamp is an awful location to look at, and it would have been better if it were a 2-level campaign like Trash Course or The Last Stand. Well, this comment is essentially the exact opposite of the prior comment, because this one's saying that Swamp Fever is basically the worst map ever. However, though, I feel like this one's more rather about gameplay design instead of atmosphere. So let's talk about it. I will agree that the map is not the best to look at, and doesn't necessarily have the best visual appeal in the world. However, if you end up approaching it from the perspective of that this gray and dreary looking color palette is used to end up making the map feel scary, I feel like it will allow you to be able to appreciate the map more. Now, in terms of gameplay, that's harder to answer, because that one is a little bit more tricky. It depends on what type of difficulty you are playing on, in my opinion. I believe if someone was to play Swamp Fever on easy or normal difficulty, the map doesn't necessarily seem that bad. It's when you play in advanced mode and expert mode, things start to get, I would say, not only difficult, but also somewhat annoying. And the main reason why is because of the way that the finale works. The double tanks in the Swamp Fever finale can sometimes be a pain in the ass on higher difficulties, because if you end up having your bots get killed, fighting 2 tanks on those difficulties by yourself, especially if you can't set them on fire and just run away from them, it's literally impossible to kill them just by yourself in a reasonable time manner before something else will kill you. Even if the tanks don't kill you, I know that something else is just lurking in the shadows and just waiting to pounce on you at any given time. And in terms of shortening the campaign to 2 chapters, I'll agree with you partially. I think that Swamp Fever could be shortened down, but not to 2. I feel like 3 chapters would be good for Swamp Fever. Just get rid of chapter 3, because that one is the least fun to play on in terms of the chapters, because the panic event is kind of stupid, and I just think that that part just makes the map unnecessarily long sometimes. So let's meet halfway. Let's say that we agree that it would be better if Swamp Fever just got rid of chapter 3 and maybe made the map a little bit more colorful, or at least just doubled down on the horror factor. People only like Zoe because they are simps. You know what, Nick? I'm kinda glad that you brought up this hot take, because it gives me an excuse to bring up something. I don't care what side you guys are on for this particular topic matter, but guys, why the fuck are we complaining about if whether or not a character is attractive or not in a video game? Regardless of what you like or what side of the fence you swing on, I just think it's dumb that people argue over this dumb shit. This is what I think. I think that if somebody is attracted to a fictional character, regardless if it's in a video game or not, that is fine. And if you're not, that is also fine. However though, 2 things that I don't think should be okay is number 1, devaluing a said character because they are not attractive or they're overly attractive, and shaming somebody for their interests or their lack of said interest. One should not say a character all of a sudden is a bad character just because they're not attractive to you, and if a character is attractive, that shouldn't be the only thing that is what makes that character have value to you. Like, is Coach a bad character, for example, all of a sudden just because he's not carrying a second shotgun in between his legs? No, of course not. That shouldn't matter. My hope is that whatever anybody is attracted to in a fictional sense is just a base for what they would try to pursue in a real-life person. Because I really do hope that everyone does end up finding true love one day and doesn't just settle for pixels on a screen. You know how you can command your character to talk, something like that on PC? You push a key and you can make them say almost anything. Why isn't that feature on console? You just click in on the left joystick, and all they say is, look over there. I wish that feature was on Xbox as well. A lot of modern games are now starting to have the ability to just say voice lines whenever you want on both console and PC. I think this is just a case of Left 4 Dead came out before this started to become a thing, and that's why it's not on the console version. And if this was even on the Xbox 360 version anyways, it would probably be annoying after a while, because players spamming voice lines on PC is annoying. It would be just as annoying on console. World War Z was the closest to being a perfect rival towards Left 4 Dead, just wasn't as promoted, causing it to be mostly forgotten. I remember that game. I remember a lot of people liking it back when it first came out, and it does still have a little bit of a small following. My brother really likes World War Z. It's one of his favorite zombie games, and he thinks it's a really great rival to Left 4 Dead as well. Personally, however, though, for me, I wasn't able to stay into the game long term, because when I ended up completing the base game, that was pretty much my fix of World War Z. For the way I like to play and the type of content I enjoy something more like Back 4 Blood, for example. I low-key think that Back 4 Blood, if we're talking now in 2024, is leagues/light years behind Left 4 Dead, but is still low-key the best successor to Left 4 Dead. 2 things that are very prevalent from both these last few comments is that, number 1, there is no other game that is going to be like Left 4 Dead. Ever. And 2, this shows you how much that people still want to have a Left 4 Dead 3 even after all these years. It's just that none of these devs have been able to step up to the plate. I don't know if this counts as a hot take, but the Japanese Left 4 Dead arcade had really good potential to be more than just an arcade game. I think that Japanese Left 4 Dead is an extremely fun game. Japanese Left 4 Dead is like Call of Duty Online or Chinese Call of Duty for those that are fans of my Call of Duty videos and don't know what Japanese Left 4 Dead is or is like. Even though it was only supported for roughly about 3 to 4 years and was an arcade cabinet, it was really cool to see all the stuff that was included in that game. The different special limited time events, the unique guns only within that copy, slight changes to the map for cultural references, and just the gameplay design. It's really neat. But yeah, everybody, that is going to be it here for Left 4 Dead 2 Hot Takes, and I do truly hope you guys ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. And I hope you guys end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers are ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords. Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too. Or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!